Everybody thought that Mike Simon was the first major league player. He was a catcher with the Pirates who caught for IU. Well, he wasn't. It was actually a left-handed pitcher named Odie Porter. And Odie pitched here in the late 19th century, in the 1900. Now, a few years later, he turns up in Chicago and he gets a one-day tryout with the Philadelphia Athletics and bombed out. The trouble was, the Athletics needed pitchers and they were short-handed, so they had to rush Odie into a game. Pitched one game, he was a losing pitcher, he went the distance, and that was it. That was the extent of his big league career. And Ernie Inness has a pretty interesting story. He was a two-sport athlete. He played professional baseball and professional basketball at the same time. I think he's still the only IU athlete to play two professional sports simultaneously. When he finally hung it up, he came back here and had a great career as IU's team coach.
Ted Kluszewski was a muscular 6'2", 225-pound slugger, an imposing figure at the plate.
Ted Kluszewski was this big, huge first baseman who came out of the Chicago suburbs. And he came here to Indiana to play football. He was an end. He was very athletic. Now, this is during World War II, where there were restrictions on travel. So the major league teams were training in places above the Mason-Dixon line, and the Cincinnati Reds were here playing in Bloomington. And what happened was the Reds would come out and practice, and then IU's baseball team would come out and practice. And some of the Reds noticed that this Kluszewski kid was hitting the ball a lot further than the Reds players. They wanted to sign him right then and there. But Bo McMillan, who was the football coach, said, hey, if they like you now, you can imagine how much more they're going to like you a year from now. So he stuck around at IU for another year, and then eventually signed with the Reds. If you see pictures of Ted Kluszewski back in the 1950s, he would cut off the sleeves to show his biceps, and they were pretty imposing. He looked like Johnny Apollo.
Even as a rookie with the 1947 Cincinnati Reds, Big Klue already had the most menacing biceps in baseball.
There they go.
There they go.
There it is.
One.
There it is.
There's two.
Run to first. Unassisted triple play.
Mickey Morandini. Now that's a name that sounds like he might be a bit player from The Sopranos, but actually Mickey Morandini was a heck of a baseball player. He came out of the Pittsburgh area and he played here at IU in the late 1980s. The Phillies made him their 5th round draft pick and became their second baseman and held them to a World Series in 1993. He played internationally for several U.S. teams, including the Olympic team in 1988. But nowadays he's managing in the Phillies organization. Very underrated baseball player.